I bet this is Jimmy's work. Jimmy, are you home?
Yeah, what's going on? What's up? What's wrong? I didn't do anything.
Yes, Jimmy, you did. Just look at your cables. Watch. Welcome back to How Not to Be a Noob, and today we are talking about something very important, and that is cable management. And if you guys have seen some people's bases, they do not do this very well, so I thought I'd do a video on this and show you guys how to manage your cables in your base. So what you want to do for this build is you want to start with your foundation, and then what you want to do next is you want to put a pillar. You want to find a flat area for this build. It doesn't have to be too flat, but I mean, if it's pretty flat, it's gonna be helpful. And then you want to lower your foundation, and this is going to be where your generator goes. So when you put a pillar down, obviously you put a pillar on a foundation, and it allows you to lower your foundations. And this is going to be a really important step. So don't forget this step and don't skip this step, because this is really valuable. And you want to do 2 foundations lowered. So that'll actually be fine. So we've lowered these center foundations here. Now we can destroy this. Like I said, you want a flat area, but if you can't find one, this will still work. Okay, and in here, you're going to want to put your walls on the higher snap points. See how there's 2 snap points? One can snap to the lower one can snap to the higher. You want to find the higher snap point. Same with this side. Ceiling over there. So you want to get it all to the same level. So you can use that higher snap point. And then what you want to do is you want to put a ceiling on here. And a ceiling here. This will all make sense in a minute. And then you want to place your generator in here. Actually, you don't want to place your generator yet. So you got to hold up and placing your generator. And what you're going to place first before your generator is a pillar. So this way of cabling puts all the cables into a pillar, and it protects all your cablings in your base. And then this next step is really important. You want to put your generator part way through. You want to put your generator part way through your pillar, so that the about there. So you can see there the little extra bit, the little secondary part of the generator, the smaller part of it, is inside the pillar, because that is where the vertical cables connect to. So you can see here, if I snap a cable on, it snaps right down the center of this pillar. What that means is all your pillars in your base are going to be protected. And the reason for lowering the generator in the floor here is twofold. So you can see here that it doesn't poke through the roof. If you put a generator on the ground on this level here, this top piece pokes through the roof and it's easy to destroy. So I'll give you a demonstration. So you can see there, that's poking through, and that can be destroyed from the other side. So that's why you have to lower the foundations where the generator sits. And it's also doubly good because when you snap off your cables from your generator, they are going to be under the ground. So you can see here my cables are protected because they're under the layer of floor. So no one can destroy these cables on the ground because they're under the foundations, or they're under the ceilings depending on where you build. And you can do this with double foundation technique, but you don't have to. So I'm showing you guys the cheaper way where you don't technically have to double foundation because it's underneath them. If we can get the higher snap point there, so you can see there, I'm snapping it under the single foundation, so it's working pretty well. And you just have to sort of do a bit of guesswork, really. Just gotta hope that you're so you can see there, you can test. So all my cables are hidden underneath the foundation. So this is the key. Now all your cables are covered, and you want to make sure you put your outlet boxes in there as well. This video is just to show you guys how to protect your cables. And then, as you can see there, that next level, we start doing our walls out here. Get your walls up. So you want to put your generator in the center of your base. That means it's in the middle of your base, and it's going to be protected from the outside. So I'm going to put some more ceilings out here. So my generator is protected in there, and obviously you want to wall it off and leave a door on it as well. I don't have a door on me at the moment, but if I did, I'd put it right there. And you can see that this is my central generator room. And you can put this in your crafting room. So what I'd have here is all my crafting things. So I'd have my crafting tables up here. You could put some smithies or some fabricators. But you guys can get creative with that. This is just to show you guys the cabling technique. You can place this wherever you want to in your base. So you can see there that we'll have a pillar in here as well. And so what's going to happen here is this is going to be your upper cabling level. But I'm not a big fan of having it so you can walk around in your cabling level. What I like to do is use the pillar technique where you can place pillars partway through ceilings here. And this will also give you a reinforced ceiling. And so then what you can do is, if this wants to get the snap point, it's really hard to get the correct snap point here. So there we go. And then so you put a pillar inside the pillar just so it peaks up the top here, and then put a ceiling on that. And then what you're going to have here is your next level of protected cabling. You can just double layer it. So this can be your roof can be here. And you can double layer it so that it's protected. And there you go, you can see that my cabling level is protected in between two ceilings, so people can't even get to that level to just run around and destroy all the cables in one foul swoop. It's not possible. And you might say, well, it's more expensive to have double ceilings, but your cabling is the thing you want to protect most in your base. Cabling is your most valuable asset. If people get to your cables, they can just destroy your whole base, take down all your turrets very, very easily. And you might say, well, that means it's all hanging off this one pillar there, and that is the case, so you probably want to put some more pillars down, but that's going to be part of the cable design anyway. So you want to cable the whole level with the intersection cables. So get all your intersection cables down. Like I said, this is just the blueprint for you guys to give you guys an idea of what you can do. And make sure you put your junction boxes on every level near the edges here so that they reach to your outer turrets. When you do your turrets, that there's a junction box that reaches to each turret. And you can see here, even these ones here are going to be encased in the wall. So none of the cables are going to be exposed. So this is just going to be the core. I'm just going to do this demonstration for the core for you guys, just to give you guys, just an idea, and you can expand it from here. This is just the blueprint to base your cabling off. Because what we can do now is put cables anywhere in our base from the roof downwards or upwards, whichever way you want to go. Because once you put your vertical cables down, they can now have a pillar that sits right in the middle of them. And that means there's going to be nowhere in your base where cables are exposed. You can see there it covers the junction box. You might say, well, this is a bit more expensive, but let me tell you, it's worth it. You need to do this because you need to protect your cables. So there's no exposed cables anywhere in this base. You actually only need to go, you can go 3 high, but probably better off going the, you have to do the walls up first too. So you can see there, if you do destroy, you have to put the walls up first, because if you destroy them, you'll have to drop it down, and then it'll leave a little gap there. So make sure you put your walls up 4 high first before you do the ceiling. That's a really important step in this, so don't forget to do that. Otherwise you'll have a little gap on the side base. And then put our pillars straight through the middle. So you guys get the picture. I just wanted to make a quick video on this just to show you guys a new technique that I'm going to start using for cabling, because I think it's really, really effective. Like I said, I haven't done this correctly because I didn't put my walls down first, so I really should have, but it's a tiny gap there, so it's not going to be too vulnerable. So this is like your central generator room. And like I said, you can use it for other things. You can put fabricators on the side of this, and you can put smithies around it. So it's not as if it's going to be wasting too much space. And then outside of this, you can put your vault walls. So I'm going to do a new build with all these sort of tips and tricks that I've shared with you guys. I'm going to do that very soon and put it all together so that you guys have a blueprint for an awesome base that's very hard to raid. Because let me tell you, cabling is one of the most important things. If people get past your cables and can just destroy your turrets, that's the end of your base pretty much. And from this level here, you can actually put out your metal hatch frames, and that closes the gap here. Because metal hatch frames are the new way to, are pretty much the best way to do your turrets. So you can see when I place a turret, it reaches all this way from the pillars. So it reaches a long distance, so you don't have to worry about them being too close to it. That's how far the reach is of the outlet boxes. So there's still powered all the way out here. So if you guys wanted to, when you're doing this build, you could like build up your walls in advance, so you could have them 4 high so that this is fully covered. Or if you're building a smaller base, you could have this like I've done here, and you can snap onto your ceiling gates out here. And then just continue your vertical, or continue your cabling grid. Make sure to put your junction boxes down. And this is honestly the best way to cable. This is just an example. Again, this is not a full base build for you guys. It's just showing you the cabling in practice and what it could feasibly look like. Just to give you guys a bit of an example. But the main thing I wanted to convey was this new generator technique with a pillar partway through it. It's just the way to pillar cable, and I reckon that's the best way you can do your cabling, because then it means you can put your cables wherever you need them to be, and all you have to do is drop down a pillar on top of it once you're done. So if you've got a big behemoth gate and a big open area, you can just drop pillars down from your roof and then have a cable right through the middle of it, and you're still protected. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Hope you enjoy this technique, and if you did, make sure to smash the like on it, and until next time, you guys are legends. Thanks for watching.